Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Honeywell and we're playing Settlement Survival. In the last episode we sent off a caravan, so we're waiting to find out whether they live or die. As you can see over here, there's no indication of what we ordered. And some of our traders are stuck over here running in place. Yeah, so not sure about that. I'm hoping they fix themselves, but I just do not know. Hopefully they don't die. Again, I don't know how that's going to work out, but we're just going to cross our fingers that they fix themselves. Needless to say, the trade system can use some polish. But I think it's playable. And I like how there's a graphic representation of this. You know, of them leaving. It's very nice. Use H to hide the trees. And as we hide the trees, you can see that I penciled in some pastures over here. I think at the end of the episode, sometime in the last episode, I decided not even to open up these pastures to spare the labor because they were producing so little. So that needs to change. Animals are a great resource and we want that. So I put in some pastures over here. That we will get to. And we have an injured person over here, so let's take a look at them. You'll see we have 51 medical alcohol. We have somebody in there. Now we have 50 and they are fixed very quick. And now Bella the water fetcher can get back to work, or she could go gather. Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, so that is working out well. We don't have people stacked up over here injured anymore. So that is very nice. Yeah, our population is starting to tick up. We are now at 67 population. And that means some things. We could absolutely hang out here and keep doing what we're doing. You know, shoring things up, producing more food and that sort of thing. But strategically, honestly, I think that would be a mistake. Unless you're having fun, of course. If you're having fun, you're playing the game exactly right. But for Cardinal Point, we want to push forward a little bit in our food, housing, and preparing for disasters. Why that is important is because at the 100 population, a lot of the worst disasters that Settlement Survival has, namely the tornado and sandstorm, those events are gated behind 100 population. Once your town exceeds 100 population, those disasters can occur. So we want to prepare for those. For food, we want to get into simple foods. Right now, we've just been eating solely rough foods. And this has a health penalty for only eating rough foods. We want to move into simple food to avoid that health penalty. And also, the earlier you move into simple foods, I've found the easier it is to move into endgame fancy foods when the time comes. So, yeah. The other area that we want to take Cardinal Point is we want to improve the housing. This is the basic housing option that we start out with. There's better housing, really nice housing. And we want that. Everyone wants a good house, right? The luxury homes can hold 5 people instead of 4. They have a larger inventory, which means they can store more food, more water, more fuel, so they don't have to restock their houses often, which increases efficiency. They relieve more stress and they're more fuel efficient. It doesn't say that here, but they are. So they'll use less fuel. They're better in every way. And the only thing you need to build them are building kits and bricks and glass. And so we're going to work towards that. And yeah. So that is what is going to be guiding the order of operations here. We want to disaster-proof the town, we want to move into processed foods, and we want better housing. So that's going to influence our tech choices. But what do we have going on right now? Right now we are out of refined fuel. That's the new name. Let's turn off our smelter because we need to gather resources. These pastures over here take a massive, well, 360 for us, but usually 400 timber, which is why we start out with the much smaller pens. And these won't go to waste either. We can use these as kind of backups later on. But we need a massive amount of resources to build these, so let us do something. Let's keep building our fish ponds. Let's close almost everybody out of the mine to get some people freed up to do this, and let's gather a huge swath of resources. And I think we're just going to take it right up here and call that good. Is that enough? That's what we're doing. So let's get it done. Maybe we don't need the foresters in there since we're just stripping all of that out. So maybe that is a thing, right? Yeah, I'm not sure. What else do we need built? So we unpaused a fish pond. We want to get all 4 of these up and running. Anything else are we building? It doesn't look like it, so let's get a house. And how many builders do we have? Where's our builder's cabin? Let's put on 3 builders. And for fun, let's just unlock this. Yeah, I think that is good. Let's up the pace here a little bit. Just a little bit while we decide what we're gonna do. We have 0 reserves. We're almost out of books. We do have books on the way though. Let's let them finish up these 5 books and then we're gonna close them for a while. How are we doing over here? You're working away on bandages, that's good. Yes, what do we have? We have some technology points, and how are we going to spend them? We need a lot of technology points. We need 1, 2 to get to housing. Mining, we need 2 to get to the deep mine. 2 more over here. That's 6. Plus 7, 8. No, 7, 8. And then 9, 10. We are looking for a huge 10 technology points. I think we need, let's get another research academy. Shift clicking on, yeah, let's try that again. Shift clicking on a building will give you a copy of it, so you don't have to fumble around here during using the build menu. So let's get that done, and we're going to increase the priority of that. And it looks like they're out of everything. Let's turn off the printing factory. They can help gather resources for us, which is good because we have a huge building day. Oh, and we have some lanterns. Happy Chinese New Year, by the way, to anyone who celebrates. I looked it up a little bit, and it looks like a fantastic couple weeks. Very nice holiday. So yeah, I hope everyone is enjoying that. Well, everyone who celebrates is enjoying it. Let's increase the speed again, right while we're waiting. Oh, we have a great harvest. That is nice. This isn't enough. Let's do 8 up here. And what do we want to produce this year? I think we're going to do agave down here because we need it. Agave is keeping our town running. The alcohol. Cotton. Yes, please. We need cotton. Cotton we're using for our medical alcohol and for our clothes. So cotton is good. And peas. Peas are feeding our town. Yeah, so we want all of those. And what do we got? 8, 16. So we want about 22 people when the time comes. That is a lot of people. For right now, I think we're going to go ahead and close down our pharmacy. Not forever. Usually I would sell the excess medical alcohol. It sells really well at 52 silver. But because we no longer have the grocery store, the only person who is trying to get the medical alcohol is the clinic, so they'll just keep stocking more and more. Whereas if we still had the grocery store, they would compete with the clinic, with the hospital, to stock the medical alcohol. So I don't want to keep producing it more than we need when we have so much work to do. So we're going to go ahead and pause this. But we will definitely, one of the trade goods that we'll trade from Cardinal Point will be medical alcohol because it has a high dollar amount. And we have the infrastructure already up and running. So yeah, that's the way that works. And now it is March, so let's get these fields open. Hunters are always a nice pick because they have like 3 people in the cabin. Foresters because they're non-essential. You know. Let's get another fish pond open. What did I say? We need like 21. Well, let's close down the textile mill, the tailor, and the toolmaker. That's 20. That's 21. Let's see what we have here. So we want 5, 8. And this juggling is not something that we're going to do the entire playthrough. We're just still really short-handed and trying to do a lot. There we go. And we want one more person freed up in case anyone dies. So let's yeah, let's free up that person. Yeah, I am happy with that. Let's free up Nydia as well. Yeah, that is good. Get planning, guys. And let's start making, how many bricks do we have? 54. Let's start making glass because we're gonna need glass. And what do we have? We have 3 tech points. Well, we already kind of laid this all out. We want to get to deep mines. And then we want to get the forge. Or is there something more important than that? Let's just finish up this tree first. No, let's get the knitting workshop up because we're going to need that in order to make tools at the forge. So yeah, let's put in a knitting workshop, and we have a spot right over here for it. We can tuck it in right there. And should we pause that for now? Well, I guess the builders can sort it out, right? Oh, here we go. You are done. You are done. And you are done. Do we just want to keep all of these people free to chop down resources? Let's put 6 builders on. If we're gonna build, let's do it. Let's do it right, right? Okay, let's put 6 builders on and let them chop down those resources. One of the things we, oh, you know what we need? We need iron. So, yeah. Let's make sure we get that. Oh, and here comes our caravan back. Very nice. Hit F11. Get here down. And what happened to our... Let's see what happens to these guys. I'm happy they're still alive, by the way. That was not a sure thing. Caravan's got back, guys. Very nice. The large trading post, I've been playing another map, and the large trading post, I think the so it looks like those people unstuck themselves when the caravan came back to town. Your caravan has returned to the town. Like I said, there's no indication of what we bought here, but you can see it right down in the inventory right now. And what we bought were materials for our deep mine. We bought a ton of books, and we bought fodder for our fish ponds and a scarecrow for our fields. And they'll come back and they'll start unloading this stuff. Oh, and we have a merchant ship as well. Let's pause so time doesn't run away. And what do we have? Nothing that we want. We don't need medicinal oil. We can make our own bandages. I mean, who doesn't need wine? But yeah, not really. And refined leather. 14 for refined leather, though. What is that? Construction? Processing. I'm looking for furniture. That's still a ways away. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to get that. Nope. Thank you very much, merchant ship. You can be on your way. Let's check for lanterns. Here they come. Fireworks. Very nice. You can actually build fireworks right now, but fireworks are... Let's pause this so I can see where we're at with the growing fields. 80%, 65, 74. Let us... Wait a second. You can actually produce fireworks from coal and paper, and they sell extremely well. They're very good. If you hit V, we can bring up our price list, and they are traded goods, I believe. Fireworks. All of the factions will buy them for 45 silver, which is a very good. But the only thing is, this is something that's only in the spring seasonal event, so it's going to go away. So I really don't want to spend a lot of time setting up production of something that's not going to be permanent. Do you know what I mean? So we're not going to do that. Not to mention that we would use all of our coal for heating and production and our paper for books. So it actually wouldn't be that great for Cardinal Point to dabble in building their own fireworks, but the option is there, and it is a really good one. Do we have... They unloaded the scarecrow, and the only field that makes it for a long time in my game is this field right behind the church. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrade that. Should we do iron tools? This increases the efficiency of how fast they plant and harvest by 10% for 50 iron tools. Sure, why not, right? No, you do have this. Let's try that again. There we go. And the Scarecrow is an amazing tool. Look how good the crops look. They look so big and fluffy because we have a great harvest event going on. Oh, and we also have another event. There's smoke rising from the forest, and soon people can confirm that is a fire. Not the best translation here, but we're absolutely going to put out the fire. And we have 821 domestic fuel. That is good as well. Let's go into hit I for our town stock management, and let's ban some things. Let's ban steel tools, which has nothing to do with firewood, but since we're in this screen, we're going to ban a bunch of stuff. The steel tools, because we are going to be producing them soon, and they're an ingredient in a higher tier tool, so we don't want the town people using them until we have enough to build what we want with them. Fuel. Now, we're not going to ban a fuel type, but we are going to make a usage priority over here. We are going to increase the value of the domestic fuel, and if people have a choice between coal or domestic fuel, they'll favor the domestic fuel, so that'll be used first. That will, to heat their houses, that will help our production over here of ink and refined fuel. It'll save the coal for them, so that is good. What else do we want to do? We want to, what animals are we using? The only meat animal that we have are the alpaca, so we're going to go ahead and ban, we are going to ban alpaca meat because we're going to use that in production too. Hopefully people don't have too much of that in their houses because we haven't been farming them. Yeah, I don't see a big stockpile. Let's double check though, because if someone has like a huge stack of alpaca meat, they could run into some issues if we don't sort it out. But I don't see any alpaca meat in any of these houses, so that is brilliant. Yeah, good job. I planned that out perfectly. It's all part of the plan. So what are we doing? We are looking at our fields. We're at 80%, 71, 88. We're going to put 12 people on this field. People on that field. I would like to put 12 people on this field, but we can't. Well, it still got a little bit longer. Well, let's put 12. Sure. Did our caravan just finish up? Yes, it did. Our caravan finished up, so all of those workers are back in the supply pool. Where are we? We're starting to build our houses. Let's unpause all of these houses. 6 citizens want new houses. And we also have some new reputation level. Because we do not have the well-known reputation tech unlocked, for every 100 silver that we spend, we get a technology point. So we now have 126 out of 200 of the points that we need for level 2. Level 2 will unlock a private school, which is good if you like the style of building, but doesn't offer any benefit, I don't think, to what we already can produce. And tofu, which requires soybeans that we are not producing. Is tofu, when I said we're going to transition into simple food, I was not taking into consideration the new recipes. I'm thinking we're going to head into salted fish, but tofu could be an option too. We'll have to see how that all plays out. But yeah, thanks, Meow. Let's get back to the business at hand. And now that we have the caravan back, let's start building a what? A thing? A deep mine. What is really nice about these deep mines that we unlocked is that they have unlimited output. So that really makes it nice to be able to play these maps as long as you want. So you could really, you know, take your time and baby a city and get it to be exactly what you want. We're going to go ahead and close that to free up that worker. And let's start getting some people on these peas, because they're just going to be about to trigger and cotton is done. You'll see that because of the Great Harvest event, we produced more than what we usually would. And I love these crops here. Yeah, pretty great. Let's toggle that off and let's close down the cotton field now that we have it all. Put them on peas and get 12 people there. And then we still have 5 people who can start bringing in some resources for us. So I'd say that is pretty good. How are we doing down here? Well, it really doesn't matter, does it? Because it is what it is. Let's open up this kiln factory. We're going to get them working on glass. Let's use our terrain tool and put some land here. And let's open up another kiln factory so we can be producing glass and bricks. Let's open up our clay mine and let's get another sand pit open as well. We'll have one gathering clay, one gathering sand. We have all of our fish ponds in. How is our crops doing? Is everything gathered before the frost? Plenty of time, so we have 780 agave, good. How many peas did we get? 1872, not bad. A huge improvement from the previous year, which I'm not sure what combination of Scarecrow or Great Harvest did that, so we'll have to check that out next year and see how that went. We also, one of the other things that we had is we ordered fodder, and this allows for the bait upgrade, which makes bait using fodder to lure fish, thus improving fishing efficiency. This is also a 10% increase in efficiency, and unlike the fields with the tools, where the efficiency upgrade just allows them to plant faster and harvest faster, an efficiency upgrade on the fish pond actually allows them to produce more food. So yeah, this is good. Worth it? For that little bit of extra. So there we go. How are we doing? Now over here, I put in some houses over here that we unlocked. And one of the things with the new update to trade, what we used to be able to do is just ship out anything that you didn't want to use, that you didn't want to process, and get some money for it, which was absolutely fine. There was no real cost. There wasn't a huge labor cost, and there was no risk of losing your entire caravan. That is not the case anymore. So right now we are getting quite the collection of alpaca wool and feathers. So we're going to start making rough clothes And because we're going to make rough clothes, let's go to our stock management again and go to clothing. Clothes. I hate these menus so much. Let's ban rough clothes. We're going to produce some of those, use up our alpaca wool making rough clothes. It is going to solve our inventory management problem, so we don't have alpaca wool clogging up our storage, but it also gives us a little bit better of a trade good. It's not great, but if we have to fill up a caravan with something to sell, I'd rather fill it up with rough clothes, which are worth 10 silver, than alpaca wool, which is worth 2 silver. So yeah, this will be a good filler for our caravans when we're shipping stuff out. So we're putting in a regular tailor there just to make rough clothes. And instead of using alpaca wool for our down jackets, we're going to switch that out and use feathers, because we're producing feathers and alpaca wool. So that'll be good there. And we should probably open up all of these things again, huh? Let's open all of them up, and yeah, we've gone through a bit of alcohol, so let's open up our bandages. Let's switch to medical alcohol. Good job. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at here. Where are we at on our tech points? We have one. We have some people, so let us... How are we doing on our fuel? We still have domestic fuel, so we're okay for that. Hopefully we have time to get this built. Let's increase the priority on our deep mine so we can get people back in to mining coal, and they'll be mining in the better mine. Let's start producing some paper here. Some paper. How many books do we have left? 240. Let's allow this research academy to use books, and let's turn on our printing factory. Good, good. How are we doing? I think we should build another alcohol, another distillery. So let's shift click on this and put another one in. H to excuse me. H to hide the trees. Yes, yes. We're still clear cutting things. We have a little bit of iron ore left, but not much. And do we have any flax left? We do. Great. So let's get some rope being made. And that is going to be an ingredient in... Did we unlock? No, we did not. Let's unlock the forge. And let's unlock the gears. And we'll finish out that tree. And then we can get a forging, which would be very nice. Now the forge will produce the building kits that we need to reinforce our buildings and make them disaster proof. Speaking of disasters, when I was planning out this mine over here, I noticed that we had room for a disaster shelter, which I thought was really good. I was very happy to be able to get four mines fit on this little mountain range, plus a disaster shelter. I really like this map, and I think I might play it past 25 years, because I don't want to... It's a good map. Let's check for New Year's goodies. Oh, and we have a tree. But we don't have that many tools. And we have immigrants coming. I'm going to hold off on that tree, but don't let me forget that. The trees increase. Increase the tree growth by 25% for a year. So it's not bad. We have people dying of old age. How is our cemetery going up here? Not bad, only 4 deaths. But what was I doing? Oh, disaster shelter. We can fit one in right over here. So I was very happy about that. So let's do that. It takes 90 cut stone and 90 iron ore. Let's pause this because we don't have the materials for that. But let's start getting working on that. We need that. We're just about out of iron ore, so let us increase the priority of this right here so that gets gathered. We have 21 people, so it should be happening. Do we need to open anything else back up? Let's open back up our marketplace to help people get. 3 people still want more housing, and we already built all of the housing that we had. So let's put a house down here because we're going to have another distillery over here. And then we have new buildings going over here. So let's put a house out right here. Let's line it up with a road. I don't know if that's going to be the end of the road, but if we put a road right here. So do we want that house to go right here? So that's 2 houses. Maybe we put them all over here. That's 3. Yeah, that is good. And while we're still putting in all of these houses because we don't want to stunt our we don't want to stunt our population growth, but we absolutely want to start putting in luxury houses as soon as we're able to. And with that in mind, what were the other things that we wanted to do? We wanted to get into processing, so let's do salt, because we're going to need that to process our food. And let's go into our butcher. Sure, those 2, and we can put in those 2 buildings now that we have them. Saltworks, and let's put our Saltworks right here. You know, one of the things that oh, we already have a pasture. Oh, with 7 people in it. Get out of here. No. Let us put 1 person in there. And we're going to put alpaca here because we're going to be using the alpaca meat to process. So it makes sense to put that closest. And let us do something. Why can't I, do I have that, does it have to be open to, oh, it has to be open to transfer, okay. I hear you. Transfer to pasture there. Sure, and do we just want to keep 1 in here? Yeah, that will keep us, that will give us an animal in reserve, and it can breed all on its own. That way, we're kind of disaster-proof our animals. And we're going to drop this down to like 30. Very good. It's March already? Okay, are we doing the same thing again? Agave, cotton, and peas? I think that is probably a good thing. How are we doing on the fuel situation? We are totally out. Because I was probably talking while this thing was built over here. So let's set this to coal. We're going to keep those 5 people in there. And let's gather up the people that we need. Let's close this. Let's close this. We never opened up back up the hunter. James, you are going to make rough close for us. That's closed. Why don't we have the people that we need? Well, let's close down the tailor. We kind of need the tools. We don't need that. We don't need that. Or that. We're going to have to cut back on our builders, I think, is the answer there. Sure. Sure. So let's see, we want 8 people on peas. Eight people on agave. Go down to the bottom. Now this is fiddly right now, but it will not always be this way. Let's do 5. 5 on that. You can also assign workers. Yeah. From the inventory, the town overview, just like in Banished. The only thing that is not like Banished, this UI is not very user-friendly. Like, you can't keep this open over here and adjust workers like... Because Banished had a nice, small, compact laborer employee screen. But you can do that, and late game, we will be doing that. But for right now, it is easier to go to the individual locations. And we have more tech points coming in, which is good. What did we want? We had processing. And I think the next thing that we want to start heading towards is the reinforcements. So let's go to construction techniques, because this will actually help us. Construction actions required minus 75%. Maybe I should have went with that a lot faster. But look at this as well, our proficiency. We're almost ready to get our first town proficiency point. And it looks like it's going to be in construction. And that will speed up our construction by 10% and the building durability by 10%. So that's a good thing. We also have our first disaster coming up. It's happening, guys. All the things are happening. Our cotton workers are done. Our pea workers are done. Our flax workers are doing the best they can. In addition to using the tailor to use up our animal products, we can use our sawmill to turn animal dung into domestic fuel. So let's do that. That'll help. And are these guys all done? They are. So let's close them for now. And how are we doing? Let's start on another pasture. We are pretty good for wood. But let's start keeping, we still don't produce herbs, and we have to either buy them or gather them. So let's keep the, keep gathering plants. We have all of this ore down here queued up to be done. It's pretty good. We kept somebody on tools. We're fine for... Yeah, we're fine for medical alcohol for now. And let's keep somebody working on the weaver. We have immigrants, which is amazing. So let's check and accept our immigrants. And look at these. This is... We have our first 2 people with the plague, and if you look, they have the measles. Our hospital does not have the skill to treat the measles. If you go into education, that's for cholera, and this is for the measles. It greatly accelerates the treatment of those diseases, but what also greatly improves the treatment is medical alcohol. So even though we have 2 people with the measles, we should be able to see them go to the hospital, and it takes a little bit more medical alcohol than a fracture or a sprain, but now they're cured. So that is very nice. If we did not have the hospital and that happened, what I would have automatically done was assign one of those workers as the hospital worker, and they both would have just died, and that's all there is to it. But now we have a massive 33 people. We're starting to flesh out our town, and I think this is a good stopping point. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and will leave a like if you did. Your likes and comments are appreciated, and they matter. The content you like is scheduled more frequently. Also consider subscribing. I'd love that too. But that's all for now. I hope to see you guys soon. Bye-bye.